Okay. Let's see. If anybody's on, please show some love. We were just on. I'm having some real technical difficulties here today, and I don't know why. And now I've lost you all. Oh, wait. I had you, and now you're gone. Use camera. Okay, I see somebody's watching. Got me. Hopefully. I have no idea which camera this is going. I have a computer and my phone, so I have no clue what's going on. So welcome. Concerning. Oh, well. Things going on. As you could see, I got nervous that we couldn't. Says today's special. Today's special is rough. So hopefully, maybe some people can send out some texts. Hopefully you. I always forget that. So welcome. Sorry. You know me, I'm usually a real stickler for time. I don't like being late. It causes me tremendous. You think on my phone. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on my computer, but I'm afraid to touch anything. So I got my computer going. I got different stuff. So maybe, whatever. We had this all set up in the chicken coop. We were all ready. We had done our lesson. And we're like, this is really weird. Did everybody have someplace to go? So sorry. Usually I'm right on time. We were, but for some reason our technology wasn't working. So we're here now, and people are slowly coming in. Thank you. For you, Kara.
Let's rock and roll.
Yeah. I lost Simon. I think it was so traumatic that he couldn't get on. So, welcome to World Studies. I'm afraid to touch anything on my table because we couldn't get going, and then we lost people, so we're just going with it. I look like, I don't know, that I've been to the food store and was attacked by a bunch of people. So, we're going to talk about World Studies today. I lost my assistant and kids today, but we're going to have fun because we're going to do this and it's going to be a blast. So, Simon, if you want to join us, here's your time. A lot of yelling in my house. So for World Studies today is actually 2 classes in one. We're not going to be focusing so much on a region or a place. We're going to be tapping into different regions. Hey, Kelly, what's going on? We are going to be tapping into looking back, finding out a place that started something we use today. I don't know what's going on upstairs. So I'm going to leave you in a little bit of suspense. So it's going to be a little wacky today. So I'm going to put audio aside, and maybe if somebody could text a couple of my friends like Katie and just let her know, I'm on. I'm afraid to touch anything. I'm afraid to do anything with the technology. So hopefully people will chime in. And then we'll also post this on YouTube, and then you can see this from whenever. So there we go. We're just going to keep on going because we're tough. I'm going to move that down. So what are we working on today? A long time ago, long time ago, in a place called Egypt, they came up with something we use today, and we're going to make it today. So let me get my box, and I'm going to unpack it, and you're going to try to figure out what it could be. So I had told you, and I didn't lie. It wasn't like I was pretending that I had a problem. I think a lot of people are on the internet today. Maybe that's it. So the things you're going to need is, I think Simon oh, nope, he didn't forget. Sometimes you get what you pay for. So I told you something that you're going to need is a bag, a paper bag of some sort. All right. So it can be a lunch bag. It could be any type of paper bag you got. I'm using a somewhat, has anybody else noticed that food store bags like shrunk? And when I was a kid, I thought they were bigger unless I got bigger. So some type of paper bag. It could be a shopping bag like you get from, oh, I never go to Gucci, but it could be something like that. It could be any type of paper bag, okay? Ideally, a lunch bag, a brown bag, or this type of bag would be great. If you don't have that, because I'm trying to find all the things that you might have in your house. So, you might have a brown bag. They shrunk. Thank you. Stephen's mom, Andrea. They shrunk. And she would get right? This is terrible. So, I mean, I don't mind paper bags, but they did shrink. So you probably have one in your house. If you don't, you might have some type of shopping bag, a paper shopping bag, or even a plastic bag. You can do this with a plastic bag. It'll be a little different, and we'll talk about that, how it's a little different. So I'll give you some tips and things like that. All right? So let me see. I'm getting different things. All righty. Okay. So your bag. I haven't told you what you're making yet because I'm keeping you in suspense. You're all like, boy, this better be one heck of a project, Deborah. We were waiting half an hour for you. Colored paper, construction paper, cardstock. You can use regular paper that you color yourself. It doesn't really matter. It could be an old magazine. It could be anything. Hey, I think Dave Finn's on too. Any type of colored paper. Okay, or notebook paper, anything you got. I know these are desperate times. Finally, sorry, Katie, if you're on. Technical difficulties. Murphy's Law. All right, Dave, awesome. So, this was originally created. This item that we're going to make was in Egypt. You're going to need a brown bag, any type of bag, or it can use a plastic bag. Colored paper. Okay, you're with Deborah, doing world studies, which is an art class today. It's a class in a taco, wrapped in a burrito, deep fried. It's many layers. So, newspaper. If you're like me and you must have thousands of those newspapers at the edge of your street, my husband likes to read them. I always forget. Some type of newspaper. It could be anything. It could be tissue paper. It could be anything that you can crumble up and stuff the bag with, okay? If you're really crazy and you have a lot of supplies, which I do, you can also use felt, all right? But colored paper or felt, whatever, okay? But your basics are your brown bag, any size will do you, colored paper, newspaper. You're gonna need Scotch tape. Once again, I am risking my health and safety. And please tell me if I'm still on, because my computer's doing weird things. So tell me if I'm still on, okay? Somebody just send me a shout out if I'm still on. I'm going to use my glue gun, okay? You're going to need, so like I said, please, somebody, anybody, just chime in, do something to let me know that I'm still going, because my computer ended. On, thank you. Okay, thank you. Yarn. Could be any type of string. I picked a nice, big, thick, chunky yarn in bright colors so you can see it. As I said, I'm very upset. I had this beautiful display in another room, and we panicked and we fled. So, we're here, all right? You're also going to need, you can see the mess. This is not as urgent. Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you. Just from time to time, just, let me know. Straws. This is not urgent. If you don't have a straw, because you've given up on straws, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You could use cardboard, or you don't need it at all. It doesn't matter. But if you have them, good for you, okay? Just something extra. So we've got our brown bags, any size, newspaper, colored paper, cardstock, anything. It could be your own paper that you're coloring. String is really important. You need some type of yarn or string. Okay? If you have to rip up a sweater and just start, tearing your sweater down, I think it's worth it. You may not, but, go ahead. This is an extra. These are your extras. Felt, pipe cleaners, pom-poms, any type of thing is an extra. Okay? I didn't say you needed those things, and you don't. Most people do not have those things. But I do, because I'm a little nutty. And the last thing is markers, okay? Markers, some type of thing that you can color stuff with, okay? Those. Yeah, I don't know where it is. Why don't you go have Simon help you? Wow, wacky day. My day was going pretty good until later on. So, markers. Alrighty, and I got a lot of markers. Sharpies. Love Sharpies. And these are my scented markers. So if you're feeling down and next time you're at a store, hey, make sure, buy some scented markers. They always cheer me up. Alrighty, so I lost my perfect screen. You're gonna need scissors and tape. Okay, how old is Cooper? Cooper is 16. He's 16 and he's a lot of sass. Sass he shouldn't have. I don't know where he gets it. There we go. Give you a little... All right. Yeah, later. I don't know where it is. Bye. Bye. So, yep, go find out upstairs. So use my iPad. Okay, so one more time. We've got World Studies. This was something that was created, or we first recorded it in Egypt. We are going to make something with these items. Now, it was used a lot more. We get to the ancient Greeks. So today, anybody have a guess what it could be? What would we be doing? Colored paper, newspaper, brown bag, yarn. Those are your hints. Don't all jump at once. What could it be? Started with the ancient Greeks. There was some evidence of them making something like this. And then also the Egyptians and papyrus maybe. You know, I was thinking about that, but no. But that's a good one. Something a little bit maybe less important than papyrus or paper. We are going to make a puppet. And specifically, not just any puppet, we are going to make a marionette puppet, all right? This, you are going, it's not a piñata, so don't get too excited. You are going to learn how to make a paper bag marionette puppet, all right? I don't know where marionettes where they specifically came out of, but yes, puppets started in ancient Egypt and also were used in ancient Greece. So we are going to make a puppet. We're fueling into ancient times because I feel like I look ancient. So let us begin. Let us begin. And please feel free. I said if you didn't have a paper bag, you can use a plastic bag. So I've got one of those. Don't look at my messy kitchen. Here we go. You could use a plastic bag. Might be a little bit different. So I've got one too that we can focus on. So the first step you're going to do is get your bag. And I'm not endorsing one store over the other. So please, I welcome all food stores. I'm an equal opportunity shopper. But this just so happens to be the bag that I got from ShopRite, which I do like ShopRite a lot. But no dissing anybody else. You're going to open your bag. Open your bag. Now, I have a pretty big bag, so I'm going to be making a pretty big puppet. If you had a small bag, which I thought I did, but I left them all at the center, you would be making a small puppet, and that's okay. And you can change the length or the body. Somebody's stealing snacks in the kitchen. You can change it in any way. Cooper, you want to help me make a puppet? No. Okay. So none of my children like arts and crafts. But the ancient Egyptians, ancient Greeks, ancient Romans, pretty smart people. Pretty smart people. I wonder how they would deal with something like this that we're going through. So you're going to open your bag. Okay, might be easier if I stand up a little bit. You're going to open your bag. And then you're going to take your newspaper, or if you had cellophane, or you had plastic left over from, like, I don't know, like snack foods or anything. Whatever. Save all that stuff if you want, if you're a hoarder like me. And you're going to stuff the bag. You don't need to stuff it. Depends on the size of the puppet you want. If you have a small bag, you're not going to need that much newspaper. If you want to make a humongo puppet, you're probably going to need a lot. Okay? Sorry if that bothers anybody. And you're going to stuff it. You don't need to make them into teeny tiny crumbly things. You want them to puff up, and you want it to be a little light. So hold on. See how I'm making it? It's kind of just big, and I'm sticking it in there. See how I'm doing that? Depending on what you want to make, for like this one, I filled my bag about halfway, all right? If you wanted to make a very big spider, you might want to go a little bit further, but you don't want to go all the way to the top because you're going to need to fold it. And so I'm going to fill my bag about halfway. I have it about halfway, okay? Filled with this stuff. Now, this is the tricky part. Let me see. Caitlin says, would you would like my favorite film, Warrior Queen. It's about a Celtic queen, and she almost drove down the Romans. Well, you know, some people say Ireland saved civilization because when Rome fell, a lot of, they had, in the Irish monasteries, they had the books and everything saved. And those things weren't destroyed. So good for her, though. It's always good to hear about the warrior queens, too. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to close our bag. So we're going to start to give the puppet shape. I am going to work on a rectangular, long rectangular shape, okay? Because I'm going to make like a dog. So I want you to start to think what you might want to make. All right, you may want to make a spider. You may want to make an animal. You may want to make a cat. You may want to make an octopus. An octopus, you might want to shape it differently. You might want to make it more round. You might want to make a person. You want to make Humpty Dumpty. It's up to you. Now, this is when you're going to get your Scotch tape or your glue gun. So watch out for fun because I always burn myself. And I have a bad burn on my pinky. It's terrible. You're going to close the tops, okay, without crushing the paper all the way down. You're going to close the top. See how I did that? And you're going to fold it like once, okay, like making yourself a sack lunch. This would be a giant lunch, but I would totally eat it, okay? Then, if you're making this rectangular shape, see, like a square. See how mine is a little bit like a square? Like a square? Okay, you're going to kind of push down and fold it one more time. And you're going to smooth it out on the top. See how I did that? It doesn't matter if yours is not perfect. It doesn't matter if it's more round. You're going to take your Scotch tape and you're going to tape it. I'm going to risk life and limb again, and because I want it to really stick. And I am going to use my glue gun. Okay, be careful if you're using a glue gun because it burns and it hurts, okay? So, but I wanted to get a good seal, I think, a good seal, and that it's kind of round. So you see my shape? Ooh, this one came out much better. This was a better bag. My other bag looks like somebody like sat in it when I had my groceries, okay? So this is your shape of your bag. See, I have it either way, okay? Don't worry about this stuff. You can cover that up. It's not as important. All right? So, we're going to get the string part ready first, and then I think we're going to decorate it afterwards. I'd like to see the strings because you can start to see how it moves. Because if you decorated it first and then you added your strings, it might mess up your design and you might not see how well it moves around. So, I did this one so I could show you, okay? Marionette, so puppets usually inside the sock or whatever, and a marionette is controlled by strings, okay? And some marionettes, one of my favorite, Team America, which is totally not appropriate, but it's a great movie, they were all puppets or marionettes. So I think all marionettes are puppets, but not all puppets are marionettes. Mind blown. Is that correct? I don't know. Now, what I recommend is, depending on how your shape of your bag worked out. This one worked out really well, that I could use this as the top, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the flat part as my top. Okay, so I have it glued, or you have it taped, and I'm going to make it upside down. So he has a nice round belly, all right, nice smooth, and I'm going to put the strings on the ugly part, the flat part, and that's really helpful. Sometimes you want a nice flat surface for your strings, all right? So this is when you're going to get your scissors and your yarn, all right? And if anybody has any knowledge or information or thoughts and opinions on the ancient Greeks, ancient Egypt, 2 different civilizations, a lot of time in between, share. Please share. But what I think is cool is that the practice that we did many moons ago, we're still doing now. We're still doing it. So, let me see. Let me get my yardstick. Okay, you might see my other cat. Get away from my... I wouldn't hit my cats. Here's a yardstick. You might want to get like a good yard. Okay, it froze. Okay, let's see. Somebody chime in if it's still going. Are we still there? I'm getting some texts and messages. Just give me a thumbs up if it's frozen. I'll try to look on something else. Okay, hold on. I think a lot of people are on. Okay, somebody just liked something. I don't know if that was me. But if somebody... Stephanie is here and following along. Okay, so we're not frozen now. We're good? Somebody let me know, okay? I have my spies that can text me, but from time to time, just chime in so I know that it's working. I think the world is on the internet today, so I want to make sure that, yeah, it looks like it's going. Okay, alrighty, looks like it's going. All right, good. But if you see something, tell me. Okay, so my friend Katie told me it froze, so I'm going to go back, and here we are. Here's our puppet. We sealed the top. Okay, somebody just let me know if it's still going. We sealed the top. We're going to turn it upside down now. So the sealed part is on the bottom. The flat bottom of the bag is on top. Okay? Now, with your yarn... You don't want to be stingy with your yarn, so give yourself, like a couple of, I don't know what that is, about 3 feet, something like that, a yard. I don't know who made up a yard. And you're going to cut it, okay? See how I have that? It's nice and long. What you're going to do with your tape or your glue gun, you're going to have to wait and let it set for a while. You're going to glue this piece to your bottom. So we're going to need 2 of these. So you might want to just cut them together. So I'm just measuring them. I'm going to make sure they're about the same length. Okay? Just somebody let me know if we're still going. Okay? From time to time, check in. Okay, so I have 1 string, 2 strings. 1 for the front, 1 for the back. Okay? So what I'm going to do is... I'm going to use glue. I'm going to use a glue gun so this goes fast and it stays. All right? Hi, Cooper. What do you have to say to everybody? Nothing. Okay, thanks, Cooper. All right, so I'm going to take my glue gun. Is just nothing working today? Let's see. There we go. I'm going to take my glue gun. Now, glue guns are really hot. You will get a significant burn. So be very careful if you're using one. And I'm going to put my my stuff, my thread or my yarn into the glue gun. So I'm using a scissor. You can use a knife. You can use something so that you don't use your fingers and burn yourself like I did. So here we go. I have one down. If you were using tape, just put enough tape on it. I do like the glue gun because it does get a good hold. Okay, we're gonna turn it around, and we're gonna do the same thing. Okay, that's why I use this bright ribbon. You can see it, or yarn. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna glue or tape on the other side. So I'm taking this nice glue gun, thinking, gee, how can I burn myself again? Okay. And we're going to put that down. And I'm going to use the tip of my scissor. There we go. Using the tip of my scissor so I don't use my finger. I already did. Okay. This stuff will come off your don't use like a really good pair of scissors. But you're going to do this down. And if some people, it's like stuck to it. Okay. Ta-da! I got two strings. Okay, it might glitch once in a while. One in the front, one in the back. Two. Okay, two. We don't want him to be lopsided when we're doing this. Okay, we're just working with two, so you have to have one. You can't have them like that. So you want two for your marionette. Okay, cool. We got them. Now, this is where your straw, you can use cardboard, you can use paper. Let's say, Deborah, I really don't like looking at this ugly stuff. You can take a whole piece of paper at some point and cover it if you like, but I'm going to show you how to kind of strengthen it a little bit. So I'm going to take a straw and I'm going to cut it into 4 pieces. You can also use like rulers. You could use anything. This is not necessarily important. I don't know if it really works, but I just want to kind of strengthen my string. And also if I went too far, it'll help keep the string for the bag like ripping and tearing. It'll help keep it at the sides instead of slowly moving over here. So just gives it a little extra space. So you can use Scotch tape and do this. I'm going to use my glue gun and be very careful. Okay, I'm going to do this again. Okay, and I'm going to just push that down. Okay, you might want to use your scissor or a knife or a spoon or something and just push it down into the glue. I don't know if you can see that. But just from time to time, maybe somebody let me know if the video's still going. Okay? And what's nice about the straw, it's flexible. It'll squish and it'll go in. So that's what we're doing. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm kind of just pushing that down into the glue. If you're working with hot glue, get somebody to help you, or just don't go too much into the glue, or you're going to be crying up a storm like I was the other day, right? Because this stuff it's hot stuff, like me. Okay? So once again, I'm taking my scissor and I'm just trying to squish it into that glue, or you're going to tape it. Ow. You're going to tape it back. Okay, so I'm back. Alrighty. And if there's something that you missed, just let me know and I will repeat it. I think there's more people online in the afternoon. Is that possible? Somebody chime in. Is that why we're having things? And maybe we need to think of, I'd love to do a Zoom class. I'd like to do something where we can do something more interactive. So if anybody's into that, let me know. We just got to figure out. Hi, Deb. Dave and Cheryl. Oh, you guys are enjoying. Good, good. Just let me know. Let me know. Okay? I mean, I do like to do these things by myself, but it's much more fun when I have friends doing it. So we've got 4, because I have 4 corners of, but I'm glad Dave, the golf fanatic, and the lovely Cheryl RN, Short, ouch. I lost the feed. Can you explain what you're doing with the straw? I will absolutely do it while I'm burning my fingers. Okay, so what are we doing with the straws? The straws, ow, it's like traveling. The straws, when will I listen to my own advice? The straws are to help like secure your string. If you use a lot of used packing tape, very good. You could also use duct tape too. Yes, thank you. I think that would be embarrassing for me to go to the hospital and say, I burned myself with a glue gun during coronavirus craft activities. But I'm cool. I'm tough. I can handle this. So the straws, and I'm going to show you what it kind of looks like. It just gives a little bit more support to our strings. Okay? That's all. You do not have to do it. You definitely do not have to burn your hands. Okay? But packing tape, Stephanie said she was using packing tape, and I think that is a really great idea too. Just something to give it a little bit more strength, okay? Your bag may be thinner than mine. So we don't want it to tear. So sometimes the straws help, but it's purely an extra. It's an extra. If you don't have straws, it's totally cool. You don't have to do it. Alrighty. Okay. So my glue is drying, and I'll put my glue gun down for a second. So I'm going to show you what the bottom looks like. If you do, or the top, this is actually the top of your puppet. This is the top of your puppet, or your marionette. As we said, all marionettes are puppets, but are all puppets marionettes? No, I think that is a true statement. So we have the line here, okay, 1, 2. And they're glued down, they're taped down, whatever which way you did it is totally cool, all right? So now, with working, now this is really up to you. I don't have any answers in life when it comes to what should the length of my marionette be. I don't know. I really don't know. It depends on the surface that you're working with. So let's say you want it to reach the floor. And I don't think I can really show you in an effective way without losing you. But you see, here we are. Well, maybe I can. Maybe I can. Da-da. So here it is. We did about a yard. So it really depends on how close you want it to get to the floor, or if you're working on a table, you're working on a stage, and, depends, like if you were climbed up. So I'm going to give you one suggestion for this. You could do something very cool if you were really cool, and I'm not. You could get extra rulers, you could get a stick, you can get a dowel. A straw wouldn't be good enough. Hold on, hold that thought. All right, you could use, I think you can see all the Lysol I have. You could use a dowel, a stick, something like that, a ruler, and you could tie your string. I'm just wrapping it around because I'm not going to tie it. And you could make them like that. See how we have it? So you could do more of where you can do more of da-da-da, Sound of Music. I don't remember what the song was. Was it like, it was a lady ho, or, they yodeled or something like that. So this might give you a little bit more use. That's up to you. If you have sticks from outside, you have extra rulers you're not using, but you don't need to. You don't need to for our purposes, because we're going to assume that all of us are stuck in the house. We're going to make a knot. Now, if you want to keep your length and you don't want to cut, you can kind of leave the extra strands and you can undo your knot later on. We want them about the same. I think that does help. So we're going to do it about here. All right? So I'm still on. Everybody still okay? Still following along? That was terrible. I totally didn't get it. And now I can't do this. Alrighty. Let's do that. See, I kind of kept it like that. Let's see. There we go. I think that's pretty close. Doesn't matter if it's not perfect. All right. Now you should have, and if you don't have the rulers, look at that. I'm a marionetteer. I don't know what is it called? You're a puppeteer. Okay. So working with that, once you tie them, okay? And maybe don't cut the excess off because you might want to later drop it down. You might want it really close. But now you've got this body. If you did it my way, I recommend to make this like an animal, okay? If you wanted it a person, and I probably should have said this before, you're going to work it more like this. And you're going to put your strings on the sides. And if you're working with like a person, you might want to do your strings, instead of having them in the front of the person and the back of the person, you might want to have your strings like this. So let me use Oreo to explain. Don't worry, I won't be gluing him. So let's say Oreo is my puppet. And so I have the same shape, a long, elongated shape. See that? I don't want to put the strings here and here, because then you could, but he would just be going back and forth, which may be okay. You could have multiple sets, but I think you can get the same back and forth and a little bit more rocking back and like side to side if you were to glue your strings like that. See? Like over the ears. Okay? That's if you were doing for a person or a long-gated puppet. But I'm doing a dog or a cat. I don't know. I think we're going to do a dog. All right? So there we are. Okay? There is the body of your marionette. If you work with, sticks or rulers, you can really feel like a professional, but you can also do it with your hands. It's totally cool. Either way, see, so he's rocking back and forth, dun, or he's galloping. So you can do a lot of things. So let's start decorating this puppy. All right, literally, because I'm going to do a dog. You may do a cat. This you may do, I don't know, an ostrich. You could do whatever you want. It's your puppet. You may want to do an ancient Egyptian. I don't know what they had in Egypt. Maybe somebody can share with us. I don't know. It's got to be cool, though. But I was really so impressed how far puppetry went back in human history. And that's why I said, you know what? We need some art. We need some crafting. We need this kind of stuff. So that's why we're going to make puppets for our world history. And there's many different types of puppets. They're thrown throughout cultures. All throughout cultures, different types of puppetry too. So let's make a design, all right? So that's also why you have your scissors, maybe your markers. Let me see, do I have one here? Let me get a good Sharpie. Hold on, peeps. I know I got one. Oh goodness, paper. All righty. I'm back. It wasn't a glitch. All right. So you can color the whole thing. You could paint the whole thing. If let's say, I don't want my dog to have a ShopRite sign, you could just paint it. But I'm gonna put like some kind of strips of paper on him to make him look like a shaggy dog. We're gonna give him some paws and we're gonna give him a face. So if you had like really big googly eyes, you could do that. Or if you're working with a lunch bag, a small bag, Google eyes would look. Simon and I, we missed this because Simon and I were just talking to ourselves for about 20 minutes in our other studio when nobody was getting us. And we wanted to know, is it Google eyes or googly eyes? So please, if you have an opinion on how to say, the eyes that move around, is it Google eyes or is it googly eyes? Tell me. Chime in. Let me know you're here. All right. So we're going to give him some eyes. Could use white paper. I'm just using what I have. So to make sure my eyes are the same size, I'm going to fold my paper. I'm gonna make a bunch of circles. I'm gonna fold it once. I didn't show you. I'm gonna fold it in half. Googly. You know, you're an educator, so you would know it's googly, right? Simon said I was weird by saying Google, but I was embarrassed to say googly because I didn't know how to spell googly. So I said Google, but that's not googly. So I think you're right. I do think it's googly. Please chime in. Tell us your thoughts and opinions. These are the questions that we need to know. Googly or Google eyes? Or oogling, because there's oogling eyes. I don't know. So I just like to say that. So what I'm going to do is, and if you're nervous about free cutting, you're going to make your eye. And you want to make it, I don't know, pick which side looks the best. Maybe you might want to manipulate. I'm trying to think of which side. I think I'm going to use this side. I think this is a pretty good side for my face. Okay, so that's how I'm working. All right? Maybe he's like a Dachshund, a hot dog, a wiener dog. So I'm going to make a big eye because I don't have big eyes. But I drew it like an oval. You could draw a circle. You could draw whatever shape you want. And you're going to cut this out. Okay, sometimes I like to draw it so I know what I'm cutting. I'm very wasteful when it comes to my paper. Who here saves scrap paper when you're working on an art project? I know when I go into the center, into the art room, and I see some people save scraps like this, I'm going to shame some art teachers, and it's okay. And I'm like, why are you saving this? And they're better people, better than me, because they're helping the earth. But this would drive me crazy. What can I do with this? What can I do with it? So tell me, do you save all your scraps? Or are you wasteful like me? So I've got two eyes, okay? So I'm going to start to plan his face. So I'm just thinking about it before I glue them on, all right? I don't know why I picked yellow. I probably should have picked white, but I was too lazy. And I was worried that if I left you guys again, we would never see each other again, which I know is overly dramatic. So put aside your eyes. I like to do an outside, like there's the iris, and I just forgot what the white part of your eye, the ball itself, the eyeball. What is that called? Somebody, anybody, chime in. Let me know. What is it? What is that called? Okay? And I'm going to make another smaller circle. Okay? So I have a circle within a circle. Okay? See how I did that? I might want to make my circle a little smaller. It looks a little weird. It looks like somebody put some kind of medication in his food. You know, and I don't want him to look strung out there. So I don't want him to look too scared. I want him to look happy, not frightened. So here we are. Maybe this actually looks frightening. I don't know. Maybe he looks like killer dog. I don't know. So he's got the two eyes. The two eyes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, that's the easiest way. You know what? Let me say. So you can use tape. You can use glue. I'm using a glue gun because I like to live dangerously. Ow. You can see the steam coming off this thing. Cordless. Okay, if it's worth every penny. Get a cordless glue gun. Don't mess around. Don't get this. Get cordless. Get cordless. Okay, so I got my two eyes. Maybe I want them like this. Maybe I want them like this. Maybe I want them, I don't know which way. But those are my eyes. And that's where they're going to go. Okay, there we are. Let's give them a nose. I don't know. Do I want a red nose? I'll give them a black nose. I think I'll give them a black nose. So doggies have kind of these little round noses. For doing a pig, they have really cute round noses. Or is it more of a shape of, I don't know. I don't have a dog. I've seen dogs, but sometimes they have a shape a little bit like that, like kind of a triangular nose. Put please correct me if I'm wrong. If you have a dog. It's not that I don't love dogs. My mom is afraid of dogs, so we weren't allowed to get a dog growing up. Just my life. So here's his little nose. I don't know. Here's his little nose. I guess that's what a dog's nose looks like. I don't know. You would think I would know. Now, you can make, especially if you're doing a cat, you're doing a bunny, you can make whiskers, or these are your extras. You can use straws if you really want something big. You can use, what are these things called? Pipe cleaners. Pipe cleaners. Pipe cleaners are really good if you're making a pig. It would be its tail. You can use these for pretty much anything. You can use them for feathers too. You can make like feathers out of it. I have feathers downstairs. But you can also do it as whiskers and stuff like that. Or you can just draw them on. So let's see. He needs a tongue, right? Dogs have a tongue. Do you agree? Give me a shout out. I'm going to draw his mouth. And I'm going to give him a tongue. I don't know if he's very bright, my dog that I'm making. He's a happy, friendly dog. So here's his tongue. Okay? So I've got the foundation of his face. And maybe I might give him cheeks. Should I give him cheeks? Yeah, maybe I'll give him cheeks. Dogs have cheeks, no? Do dogs have cheeks? They have them like on the side of their noses, right? Or is that just cats? Connect with me. Tell me what you think. So maybe I'll draw him some kind of cheeks. Something cute. Give him a little, I don't know. I'll see how it looks. All right? So I've got his eyes, his tongue. I'm going to draw his mouth for us and his eyes. So I'm going to put this in. So hopefully I'm still on. I'm wondering, should I make him look a little sad, or I think I'm going to make him look a little sad. He's a droopy dog. He's a droopy dog. Droopy. Does anybody ever watch that show? Okay. So I'm going to have he's got like kind of sad eyes. All right. He's a friendly soul, but he can't go to the dog park with his fellow friends because dogs have friends, right? And I'm going to put I'm going to put his eyes in. All right. Okay, just some eyes. I know he looks a little bizarre. I'm going to put his little cheeks. I think this will work. So I'm going to put the two cheeks together. And I'm going to fold them a little bit to make them, let me see. Whoops. Okay. There we go. So he's going to get something that looks like this. Little cheeks. All right. Okay, I'm going to put that on his face. Oh, dear. Okay. I don't know if they're supposed to be that close. Bunnies definitely have cheeks, so make sure you put cheeks on a bunny. Okay. Okay, put them on a bunny. Bunnies definitely have cheeks. Cats have those little cheeks, right? I don't know what they're called. Okay. Okay. You can come back. I just want to give you a general idea. He looks like he's got a butt face for a second because he doesn't have his nose. He doesn't have his nose yet. So just bear with me. It'll all come together. Okay, hold on. Don't burn yourself. Just sometimes it's better not to do exactly as I do. Lay out your face, plan it before you add it. Okay. Lions also have cheeks. I think animals, does anybody know what those things are called? So here's his face so far. Try not to burn my hand. Okay, there he is. And, oops, let me get a little bit more glue for him. So you're just putting on his face. Give him something good. Now, we're going to draw in just a second. Wow, that is really, really hot. You can take this on. You do not need to burn yourself like me. I'm going to put his tongue on. Now, I really want this to hang down. If you have an animal with like a tongue, definitely have it hanging down. So I burned myself. See? There he is. He's got a nice little good face. He looks a little, I don't think he looks that sad. I think he looks kind of cute. There's his little tongue. And my Sharpie, people steal these. So that's why you have markers. You might be drawing details. You could draw on the face. You don't have to go through all this extra stuff with me. Right? You could draw it yourself. Maybe, I don't know if dogs have eyebrows. Do they? I gave him some eyebrows. That helps give some definition to his face. So I want to work on his body for a little bit. Okay, so here we go. Just so you can start to see it. See how that's working? See how that's working? Yeah. You're making a rainbow dog. Excellent. Excellent. We need more rainbows in this world. So see, this is going to take you some time, even after we're done with this video. So how, Deborah, would I do, he needs ears and he needs fur, or he needs something to cover the sides. So, I don't know if I have any brown. What? I didn't take any brown paper. So I'm going to make him, should I have long ears or short ears? I think he's going, hey, Janice and Will, I think my guy is going to have long ears. I think he's going to, so he's going to have long ears. And there we go. He's got long, big, floppy ears. Okay? And we're going to put those on the sides of where he is. And maybe coming up close to the head. All right. Now, if you want to have posable ears, right, posable, you could do something really fancy. Okay. You could take a pipe cleaner. Okay. And I don't think anybody uses them to clean pipes anymore. But what you could do is you could glue it to your paper, and then it will have a little bit of a lift, okay, to it. You can shape it. So I'll do that for you so you can see. I recommend for something like this, I do recommend a glue gun, or I think you can use packing tape like Stephanie was using. I think that'll really work. Duct tape, anything like that. You know, anything like that you're not going to burn your hands like I am doing right now. There we go. Arts and crafts. They're for tough people, okay? Tough people. Tough people to do arts and crafts. All right? Some artists, sadly, cut their ears off. We know one. Some of us repeatedly burn ourselves and glue ourselves to things. So, so my guy, when I do this, his ears are going to come out like that, okay? So see, that's an extra. I didn't warn you. I didn't tell you to do that or throw your things on the floor, but that's an extra, okay? So I do recommend that. You might want to pick the same color. It doesn't matter. I'll do two. Alrighty, so I'll do my other ear. But that is a cool way to make things posable. Okay, posable. Because, you know, we're artists. Does anybody know when pipe cleaners were invented? I don't know. I imagine they were really used for pipes. And I don't know if there's too many people that smoke pipes anymore. Are there? My dad had a store when I was growing up. And they sold pipes, even corncob pipes. Does anybody know anybody who smoked a corncob pipe? I don't know. So I'm going to pose them a little bit first, and I'm going to glue them on. So my first ear, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to show you in just a second, and I'm going to glue it, all right, pretty close to his front of his face, all right? Now, I might wait. You know what? I'm going to wait for a second. I'm getting ahead of myself. So Katie's making a rainbow dog. Maybe you are drawing it in, painting it in. I'm going to show you how to make fur out of construction paper. So we're going to cut strips. See how I have that? Strips. Just strips. If you want to use a scissor, a pen to highlight your strips, you can, but this is not perfect. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to get in trouble. Now, it works out really well that my bag is exactly the same size of my dog, okay? My body. So I'm going to use the whole thing. And what I would like to do is I would like him to be a little shaggy. So you could roll it. You could roll it with a pencil. And, if you really wanted to roll it really nice, you could take a marker or something like that, and you can roll it, and you let go, and he's got a little curly cue. You can give him, maybe this guy was in the 80s, and he had a crimped look, okay? I want my guy to be a little shaggy. I want him to be a little shaggy. So I'm going to do an accordion shape. See how I'm going back, forth, all right? Back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. Doesn't matter. You can make them really fine, really thin strips of fur. It's up to you. You could get real fur, I guess. I have so much cat fur in my house. So see how I have that? So I'm going to glue this to the side because I'm a little lazy. I don't like, you could tape it on, use what Stephanie said, packing tape, maybe you're painting him, maybe you're coloring him, and boom, I'm just gluing that to the top. And hopefully I have another side. He's the same color on all sides. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut, and I'm going to leave, you can cut it all the way to the top. I'm going to leave it, see how I'm leaving it that much? I'll show you in a second. I didn't even go that nice, but you see how I have that cut? And the same thing, I'm going to bend back, forth, right? Back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. I'm going to do that. So I gave him shaggy fur. You may want to curly cue it. You may just want to have strips of fabric. You may not want to do anything. You just may want to color him to give him a little bit more dimension. Okay, so I'm working fast. So we finish. Okay, working on making puppets. Now I'm not going to put anything on his back, on his tush. I'm going to leave that, but I do have to give him a tail. So please chime in. Tell me, good, go for a walk. You can watch this video anytime. You can watch it on Facebook. You can watch it on YouTube. Okay? It's wherever you got to be. It's okay. I don't get mad. It's cool. Do what you got to do to get through. Because this is a long project. Woo! Nice and hot. So, now, there we go. There's my dog. And then I'm going to glue on his ears. You can tape them on. You can glue them on. I'm going to glue them on with my hot gun, my hot glue gun. Where's his face? Okay, I'm putting that in. Woo! There's some hot stuff. And because I use the pipe cleaners, I can really make his ears fly out. You can also fold them. You don't have to use pipe cleaners. I can change his way of doing things at any moment. But you're going to put your ears on. If you were a cat, I would recommend making your ears. Pretend this is a triangle. If you had a cat, you may want to put them more on the top. That's up to you. Something like that. That's up to you. Oh, my ear fell off. The pain, the pain. There we go. Let's see how he looks. He's not bad. He's not bad. Alrighty. Last thing we need is a tail. So I think I'm going to give him... red tail wouldn't look very good, I think. Maybe I'll give him... I'm trying to think. I'm going to give him a yellow tail. I'm going to give him a yellow tail. Because that's what I have. You may have a long tail. If you're doing a bird or a cat, you'd have a really long tail. And you could also do the same thing. You can, that is the worst tail I've ever seen. That's a terrible tail for a dog. Let's see, let's give him a little peppy tail. Losing control. Alrighty, let's give him a little tail, a little peppy tail. Okay, and I don't know, maybe I'll put it right up here, like he's wagging his tail. See how he's wagging his tail? It's whatever, which way you want to do it. It's up to you. It's your marionette. It's your puppet. So I'm going to put that in there, like that. And if you wanted to put legs, you absolutely can put legs. So if you were doing legs, you might want to have them, I'm going to make them all the same size. Not that your dog needs to have 4 legs, but I think the current Cadbury Bunny is a 2-legged dog, so good for him. I'm just going to make some nice little legs. I'm just going to make some legs. And the same thing. What I recommend is you're gonna make a lip, okay? So you're gonna make like a little thing so you can have a spot to glue or to Scotch tape. So see how I did that? I bent his little leg. It's okay, it didn't hurt. And I'm going to glue this. So I'm gonna turn my guy upside down and I'm gonna put one leg and I'm gonna fold it again so I have something for the glue to go on. See how I did that? You can just tape it. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. Ta-da. Okay. So it kind of looks like that, see? So when it comes like that, they hang down, all right? And you could do it 2 different ways. You could have them side like this, hanging this way, or the way we did it, facing forward. So it's really your preference if you want them more like this or like that. So I'm going to do these, and then he's almost going to be over with. So you're going to glue these to the end. Oh, I think I did it wrong. We want to glue that this way. There we go. Ouch. There we go. All right, let's turn them around. Now, if you don't like the top, okay, you don't like the top, you don't like looking at this, you can take your fabric or your paper. Oh, that was dumb. Why did I do that? You can take your paper and you can just glue it on top. See how I did that so you don't see it? So I'll do that. I'll do that for this purpose. So I'm coming around. I'm coming around. I'm coming around. There we go. You can tape it. You can use regular glue for this because you'll have enough time to let it dry. And I'm just going to let that fall down there. So that way, if you wanted to cover it, you can. So, things you have in your house. This, yikes, is your marionette puppet. I would love to see if anybody's working this week on your marionette puppet. You didn't think you could do something so cute. I think he didn't come out that bad, right? And instead of making the puppet like a bag, where your hand goes up inside the puppet, his mobility is a little bit different. This, if I were hiding, he's walking too, and he can move, he can jump, he can beg. Well, he can't roll over. But the idea is he's moving. And if you do that, he goes in and out. So that, my friends, I apologize for our technical difficulties today for our world studies, learning the origins of a puppet and making your own marionette. Please, I would love for you to share videos using them, making them, but please send me your pictures or post them onto this thread so we can see what they look like, or send them to me, email them to me, because I'd love to share them. So tomorrow we have our usual, we have our schedule. Look at the Facebook page early in the morning. I'll remind people we do end the day with and end the week with music, which is always a good way. So once again, my apologies for having all these technical difficulties, but in the end, I think it worked out, and I hope people will come back and take a look at this video and give this a shot, all right? Give it a shot. It's super cute. It's a lot of fun. It can last you a lot of time. You don't need to do it at a super pace like I did, but I think you'll enjoy finishing them, or make a whole bunch and put on a show for your family. Get on FaceTime, do something like that. So if you got any questions regarding your puppets, feel free, put them into the thread. I do go back and look and do answer questions. So everyone, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you, I guess, tomorrow. Hopefully we won't have these glitches. Have a good one. Say goodbye. I don't know, Fido. Goodbye.